but do you all have tips from going from digital to analog? Like, I've gotten so used to digital that I feel like a giant holding a human-sized pencil trying to draw on human paper. And then also, dumb question time, battle royal between Akira Yoshida, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Ed Piskor, the Comicsgate guy, I don't know his name, and don't care to know it because fuck that guy, who's walking away with the title?
All right, well, the first question... As somebody that started analog and then went digital, I probably won't be able to give you a good answer for that because I still do analog. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I just don't really mind the differences. I just, at the end of the day, I'm still just drawing, you know, like, I don't know. I don't really think about drawing analog versus digital that way.
I hate the, like, I mean, you know, shout out Ramon, but I don't really think the argument of like, oh, you work digitally, that sucks because, you know, you should be analog. These are tools we have. And I think we are, I forget who we were talking to, but we were talking to somebody recently that was saying that we're at the beginning of like these digital tools. So of course things are going to look the same. So I think digital art is just going to move forward to where you're going to get more and more realistic looking brushes and things you can use. So, I mean, if you want to move, you know, from digital to analog, you know, the only advice I really have is just to do it. But I don't really think that, you know, if you're doing it for a reason because you want to challenge yourself for something cool, but if you're doing it, you know, because you feel like you shouldn't be working digitally, you know, don't let anybody get in your head about that shit.
Yeah. The only strong opinion I have about digital and analog is that I think everyone should start analog and then make the jump to digital.
Yeah, I think it almost seems like you're going backwards in your questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've never heard of somebody using strictly digital and then wanting to make the jump to analog. So that is interesting. But
yeah, like learning to draw. Like, I'm not saying you learn to draw on a tablet, but I mean, like, surely you were working analog at some point, like before you got a tablet. Maybe not with kids these days, but, you know, if you're old enough to listen to our podcast, you were working analog at some point.
I would recommend just getting a sketchbook and drawing some pencils. Start small and then go bigger. And then once you kind of get comfortable with that, start inking those drawings. And then once you're comfortable with that, start doing straight to ink drawings.
Yeah.
And that will really build up the fundamentals of your skill.
If you want to, you know, kind of go and touch and base on, you know, previous question we had, if you really do feel like you kind of want to do both, do your pencils digitally and print them out and ink them traditionally on paper. I've been thinking about doing that myself just so I can have originals to sell, you know?
Yeah.
So, but as far as like, I did the exact opposite. I went from analog to digital, like JB said. So, I don't really have any advice for like breaking the habit. Now, I am one of those like dumbasses where like if I'm drawing on paper, like I've totally, like, it doesn't happen a lot, but I've totally done the thing where I take my fingers and like try to zoom in on the paper just out of habit.
Yeah.
You know that. So
yeah, I've definitely searched for the undo key while I was drawing on paper and just feeling like a real idiot, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to kind of be flippant with the answer there, but I just don't really have any advice for navigating because I did it the complete opposite way.
Yeah. I think my advice is probably, you know, doable.
Yeah. And I think that if you're able to draw on a tablet, you can draw on paper.
Yeah. Nothing's stopping you. I can understand that it's going to be different just from like a
feeling,
like a touch experience, you know, but you get used to it.
Yeah, totally. John Porcellino just started following us on Twitter, so I guess he's down with the Gutter Gang.
Who?
John Porcellino.
I don't know who that is.
King Cat guy. He's at the distro, the older guy. You would know him if you saw him, dude.
Oh, yeah, I see him. He's just followed me, too.
Yeah, cool dude. So I guess he started listening to the show. He's been following me for a while.
What's
He's like
King
a god.
Cat?
King Cat, so Porcellino's like a god, dude. He is really responsible. He just did an interview in the new comics art magazine that Domino Comics put out about, like, he started a distro called Spit and a Half, and King Cat was his published, like, comic zine.
Oh, you know what? Yes. Okay, I'm putting it together now.
Yeah,
okay.
So he's like the dude who, like, pretty much, like, was the distributor for, like, zine, like, homemade comics, like, in the 90s. So,
gotcha.
That's a cool follow for me.
A real head.
A real head, yeah. So knowing that an elder like Porcellino, because I respect that man, is down with our show is cool.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, shout out.
Shout out Mr. John Porcellino, who is making $2,000 a month on Patreon. Show us your ways, John. Show us your ways.
Get that money.
Yeah, he does membership cards. Maybe we should do membership cards, Gutter Gang membership cards.
What would that even entail?
It's literally a laminated piece of paper, and John Porcellino, writes your name on it and the membership number that you're on. But he has $2,000 a month, so maybe there's something to it. Yeah, he does it for like his $1. Like you join the King Cat official fan club and he sends you like a note and a laminated like business card with your name on it, and it says King Cat fan club, and he numbers them. So no, I'm just talking shit right now because I want $2,000 on our Patreon. But yeah, no, Porcelino the God, thank you for following. You're not going to subscribe to Patreon, I don't think. But if for some reason this ends up making the preview clip, I hope you hear it, bro.
I'll be sure not to do that.